I've got something to show you. It's not usually too bad, it's not your Instagram page. We're going to take you through this. Mm-hmm. You just watch it.
Oh, wow. First time I've seen Mac out of his seat.
That. Jimmy Anderson is the man to finish things off. One that keeps a little low, but dead straight. England have their win by a massive margin of 267. And everything that Ben Stokes has done and planned has come to fruition here in this first test match in Mount Maunganui.
How does it make you feel when you have a game like that, which wasn't your best performance, but people just absolutely write you off?
Yeah, I don't try to read too much into it. I think a younger me would have got rattled when you're a bit younger, but I think, yeah, when you come with a bit of experience, a bit of time, I feel like if you worry about that stuff too much, it's going to continue dragging on. I sort of feel like you've got to park it, and you know that you're going to have bad days, and there's a period of time where I've had it pretty good, so you've got to know that these sort of things have to happen and you've got to learn from it, and I guess ever adapt your game and go again.
Let's hope the Kiwis put up a better fight this time, don't you think?
Okay, let's talk about leading into the game in Wellington. It's a sold-out test match. Everybody's talking about Baz Bull and they've dominated the Black Caps. There's no way New Zealand are going to win.
Another good characteristic I reckon about this team is we don't try and get too high when we win and not too low if we lose. So you sort of got to take the good with the bad sometimes, and I guess just try and stay level. Focus more on what you need to do for the team and contribute and get around the other guys and keep fighting and scrapping, I guess. And yeah, sometimes your back's going to be against the wall and things might not go your way, but so you just sort of, I guess, keep fighting and keep trying to find a way.
Day 5. England are 48 for 1, chasing, what was it, 258? You're sitting at breakfast. What's going through your mind? Are you thinking about the game and how potentially it may unfold during the day?
Yeah, it's sort of weird. I sort of just felt after their partnerships from Tom Latham and Devon Conway and then Daryl Mitchell and Kane and Tom Bunnell, how they played, those little partnerships, I sort of just started feeling that, hey, something special is brewing up here. I just sort of felt like, you know, they're creating something special here. They're putting a lead up that's going to give us something to bowl at and try and do something. And it sort of just had the belief and the feeling that it could be there. And I sometimes get a little bit over excited in the change room, and I had to be reminded by Tim and a couple of guys just to relax and not get too far ahead of myself and yeah, settle down. But yeah, I sort of just had this belief the whole time, this feeling, but something just ticked that day, a bit of a rhythm, and yeah, it's like I said, sometimes you go through cricket where things don't tick and you've got to try and find a way. You never play a test match with your body 100%, you always got some niggle or some pain and some soreness you've got to deal with. It sometimes throws your rhythm off a little bit, or conditions out in the middle, whatever it is, you've got to try and find a way, and sometimes it ticks and sometimes it doesn't, but it just felt like it was one of those days where things just sort of felt good from the first ball I bowled. There was a bit of a rhythm, things just sort of felt like I had momentum at the crease and it was just coming out nicely, and I sort of just felt like when you get moments like that, you just got to try and make the most of it and I guess cash in and put your hand up, I guess.
Oh, that is brilliant. Neil Wagner strikes in his first over. What a big difference that'll make to him and his day. What a big difference already it makes to New Zealand's day.
A lot of tests, you're going 3 potential, I guess, results are possible, but I just felt like it was going to be 2 results possible. It's either we win or lose. But I just felt with what we had as a team and what we did, we've done it in the past before, we've done it a few times, that we keep fighting and get a couple of wickets and put pressure on them, we can change the game around, and all those guys in the team kept believing and kept fighting, and things ended up happening that day, so it was pretty special.
What on earth is going on? That could be the most important moment of the day. This is a side in the field, absolutely cock-a-hoop. Up it goes, and that's the result that everyone in that New Zealand team wanted. Ben Stokes discomfited for the first time. Joe Root has lobbed that in the air. It's taken at mid-wicket. This is Neil Wagner's day. He is back on the scene with a bang.
This is something I can't get out of my brain, the aggression in your face. You must watch back sometimes and think, geez, do I look that angry?
I've seen a few photos afterwards and I think to myself, what am I doing? How on earth am I getting to that point or look like that? It's something, again, that just happens and I can't explain it. But like I said, again, it's a thing of just, thought you're never going to have this chance and this opportunity to be able to play cricket and represent New Zealand and play on the highest level, and every chance you get is pretty special in representing that black cap and putting your head. It's all the hard work that you've put in from a young kid growing up to be there. You can't ever take it for granted. And the facials, I get a lot of stick from all the lads in the team for a number of years now, but they're pretty used to it now.
Does your face hurt ever after a game?
No, funny enough, no, it doesn't. Everything else does, though. The rest of your body does. It's getting harder every morning to get out of bed, that's for sure. But it's been for a while now. But it's even more satisfying, I guess. Being around with this group, it's just easy to put your body on line for them and go through that, I guess, that pain barrier to play with these bunch of lads and representing your country.
Oh, he swung it. He swung it. It's gone for 4. It's gone through the fielder. And Jimmy Anderson has swung England away. They only need 2. Can you believe it?
Okay, I'm going to go through the last couple of overs. So you've been hit for 4. They're needing 2 runs to win. Tim Southey bowls a maiden.
Gets underneath. We'll have to wait another over.
Throws the ball back to you and you've got 2 runs to defend. You've got 1 wicket to get. You're standing at the top of your mark. Talk to me what is going through your mind in that moment.
A million things, honestly. It's amazing when it can go through in your mind in such a short space of time. You're just walking back to your mark and you try to tell yourself, just calm down and just think about what you want to do and what you want to execute and don't think too far ahead and just sort of calm yourself down and not get too wound up by it. After that 4 Jimmy hit that came out of nowhere, went through Kane's ear. I think Kane was even surprised because he absolutely murdered it. It went so quick, it literally got me by surprise and I thought, wow, this could be the game done here. And then for Tim to bowl the maiden he did and the way he bowled it was exceptional. And I sort of felt, there was a couple of discussions between myself and Kane where we sort of thought, do we go full and pitch it up and try and hit the stumps? And my sort of gut feeling said, hey, if he just blocks and it goes in the gap and either run 2 or even if they run 1, the game's done and it's a draw. And we sort of thought about coming around the wicket for that sort of dismissal or for a little glove to just go to one of the guys on the lid. But after he pulled that 1 for 4 the previous over, I thought, nah, let's stay over just to make him think that I could go full at the stumps here too.
2 needed here for England. Flick down the left side! Flick down the outside! He's got in! Can you believe it? Wagner has done it! New Zealand win by 1 run! What a stunning test match!
Just one of those lucky things. You end up bowling a ball to get a glove and ends up a little tickle down leg and a great catch from Tommy. And I'll never forget seeing his reaction lying on the ground after he caught it. Just the relief. It was, I guess it's a memory and a picture in my mind that it will stick with me, I guess, for a long time in my life.
What was the feeling in the huddle when you were celebrating that last wicket, thinking we've done the impossible, we've played in one of the greatest test matches ever to be?
Pretty special, yeah. Amazing feeling. Pretty hard to put into words. For me, I always look at everyone's faces and you see the excitement, the smiles, and I get so much joy out of that. It's just very special. And for a moment, I realised there just that what everyone did, the contributions from batting to bowling into the field, it was pretty tough conditions. We know Wellington can get quite windy and pretty wet, heavy outfield. Guys running around, throwing their bodies around, trying to defend every run, and some of the catches, obviously it's under high pressure moments. You can't do it without those guys, and seeing the smile on everyone's face, it's just the satisfaction it gives you. It's just too hard to put into words. It's just pretty special.
The disappointment for England is Wagner. He's done it. What a remarkable
Is that what dreams are made out of? Maybe not Craig McMillan yelling your name, but looking back at that, what do you feel when you look back at that?
Yeah, it's pretty hard to put into words, to be honest. I don't like bringing it back to me or thinking about me in that sense. That's just one ball, and I'm lucky that I had the ball in my hand and had the opportunity to do something, and it fell my way. But yeah, it wasn't about me or what I did there. I feel like it was a huge collective effort from everyone. I mean, if it wasn't for Kane, the way he batted and do what he did, Daryl, even Tim's innings in that first innings to actually get us close enough, that was the most valuable 70 runs I think Tim has ever played in his life. So you look at that moment and you reflect and you think back and you go, that moment is only possible because of what the other guys did. And in the field too, those catches got to get held onto. And that's sometimes the one thing I used to hate, just the short ball stuff and the one-trick pony, because as a fast bowler you always dream about a off-stump cartwheeling or nicking someone off, going through the keeper or things like that. But one thing I've always liked about the majority of my dismissals, it gets caught in the outfield with someone in the team, and it always feels like it's a collective effort. It's not just my wicket, it's the other guys doing it too, and I always felt more a part of the team than ever in my life because those guys play such a big role of it. And seeing that moment there, it's sort of like, yeah, I'm pretty fortunate, lucky that I got the chance to do that in that over, and that I was the guy, I guess, celebrating that wicket. But it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for what the other guys did, and it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the group of guys I'm around that inspires you to lift up and try and find a way and keep fighting and has your back and jump right in behind you. And I remember every over that I've bowled, Will Young, Henry Nicholls, Michael Bracewell, Timmy, those guys coming to you, high five, little pat on the back, encouraging you. That's the sort of stuff that lifts you up, and be able to do something like that, and it goes a long way. Those guys didn't always think about it that way or see it that way, but that's the sort of stuff that lifts you up and gets you around, and those boys have done it for a number of years now, and it's something, I guess, that makes me who I am.
Top edge and out! Wagner takes the catch. Southey's done it! New Zealand 1 wicket away. Can you believe it?
Did you go up to Mount Vic and celebrate?
Yeah, we did. It was a very nice tradition. First time doing it in whites because we were pretty late for it. We had quite a nice time with the England guys on the field, sharing a beer and playing around with a soccer ball and having a good laugh and get along with them really well off the field too, which is obviously pretty cool. So knowing quite a lot of those guys, playing against them in county cricket and playing with them and then obviously playing test cricket against them, it's pretty hard out in the middle, but pretty nice and special to afterwards sit and share a beer and laugh about a couple of moments and share some funny stories. That was pretty special.
Where does that sit in terms of everything that was built around it and then being on the field and performing like that and changing the game really?
Yeah, it's definitely one that's going to be up there for a long time. Just the whole way it unfolded from day one, literally to day 5, it was just everything about Test cricket, wasn't it? It was just swinging around, punches being thrown and the waist just going this side and that side of it. I think that's definitely one that's going to be up in the memory box as one of my most favourite Test matches to ever be a part of. That and I guess the World Test Championship final was probably 2 that will be sticking in memory the most. I feel like after the season finishes and I sit down at home with my family and have a beer and just chew the fat, I think that's where you sort of it will sink in and you realise a little bit more of it. But at the moment it just feels like one big blur. It feels like you're just a little piece of the puzzle, I guess, that everyone puts together that unfolded on the day and helped, and everyone keeps adding to that little puzzle and build it. And I was just lucky and fortunate to be in the end. It was top of the mark and it, I guess, went through and bundle caught it and didn't go through for 2 or 4 runs because it would have been a complete different conversation right now. So yeah, just pretty lucky to be, a little piece in the puzzle.
You're getting a bit old for all these these close games, aren't you?
Oh no, I reckon it keeps you young. I think that's the thing that sort of motivates you to get out of bed and go again. I think that's the nice thing about it, and the beauty about cricket is it's the same as golf. Sometimes you have a bad round in the tee box, but you hit that one good shot, it just brings you back tomorrow. You want to go play again, you know, and you just feel like, oh, something's got to change and go better or go your way. But yeah, it's a beautiful game, Test cricket. It's one of the best levelers going around too. But yeah, no, you just keep trying to find a way and keep fighting, and like I said, it's one of the best things about this team.